My son, like I keep saying, people have never seen me when I was governor. It was in university or anything. They can't see them. I can tell you a story. People were shocked. One of the days he came to Sukani, he was in Keke. And somebody wanted to tell me why. And I said, that's what he wants to do. But if you look at me going to where we have, I was in Haiti when they had earthquake. I've been to Afghanistan. All the countries I went where there's problem, he went with me. And I tell him, I'm the governor. You're not. You're just son of the governor. You're not the governor. Even if I have anything, I can only inherit it when I die. Because I didn't inherit anybody's own. So you have to struggle for your own. I'm sure I will die before you. Then you can inherit it. But not while I'm alive. So you can. A 26-year-old start your life. Unfortunately, I must say it's difficult here. The system is against your progress. That has to change.
This Peter Obi's story is simple but powerful. At first glance, this may sound like a personal family detail, but in a country like Nigeria, this story carries deep national significance. Today, let us examine, point by point, what this says about Peter Obi is a father and why it matters for his presidency when he eventually wins in 2027. 1. It shows intentional parenting, not privileged parenting. Raising a child who is independent does not happen by accident. It reflects intentional values, discipline, and long-term thinking. Peter Obi could easily have raised a son who depends on his influence, wealth, or connections. Instead, he raised a son who understands self-reliance. This tells us something important. Obi does not believe in entitlement even within his own household. A man who refuses to spoil his child with privilege is unlikely to spoil a nation with recklessness. 2. It demonstrates the value of dignity of labor. A son who works and earns his living shows that labor is honored in that home. In Nigeria, many children of powerful politicians don't work, don't build careers, don't respect process. They depend on influence, not effort. Peter Obi's son choosing to work and build his path reflects a value Nigeria desperately needs again: dignity of labor over shortcut culture. A president who believes in this will naturally promote productivity, merit, enterprise, youth empowerment. 3. It reflects financial discipline as a core value. A son who doesn't constantly ask his father for money was raised with financial awareness, responsibility, self-control. These are the same values Peter Obi demonstrated as governor: saving public funds, avoiding waste, leaving money in government coffers. This shows that his personal life mirrors his public record. A man who practices discipline at home is more likely to practice discipline in governance. 4. It shows leadership by example, not by words. Children don't learn from speeches. They learn from examples. Peter Obi's son did not become independent because of lectures. He became independent because he watched his father live responsibly. This is leadership in its purest form: quiet, consistent, principle-driven. A leader who leads by example sets the tone for ministers, civil servants, institutions, citizens. 5. It proves that Obi separates family from public resources. One of Nigeria's biggest problems is state capture by political families. Children of leaders often interfere in governance, control contracts, influence appointments, act above the law. Peter Obi's statement sends a strong message. His children are not raised to see Nigeria as inheritance. This matters deeply for his presidency. 6. It reduces the risk of first family nuisance. Let us be honest. Nigeria has suffered from presidential children causing embarrassment, family members abusing power, relatives becoming untouchable. A president whose children are independent, working, career-focused, not seeking favors, is a president whose government can focus on governance, not damage control. This is not a small issue. It affects national stability and international image. 7. It shows emotional intelligence and healthy relationships. Peter Obi did not just say his son is independent, he also said they have a good relationship. This is important. It means discipline was balanced with love, authority was balanced with respect, guidance was balanced with freedom. A leader who understands emotional balance, listens, consults, builds consensus, manages conflict wisely. Nigeria needs a president who governs with both head and heart. 8. It reflects the Nigeria Obi wants to build. When leaders speak, they often reveal their vision unconsciously. In that short story, Peter Obi described a working youth, a graduate with purpose, a young man building his future, a citizen not dependent on government handouts. That is the Nigeria Obi is fighting for. A Nigeria where youths work, not beg. A Nigeria where education leads to opportunity. A Nigeria where success is earned, not gifted. 9. It builds trust in his anti-corruption stance. Anti-corruption is not only about arrests, it starts with values. If a man cannot say no to his own child, he cannot say no to corruption. Peter Obi has shown that personal sacrifice matters, boundaries matter, principles matter. This strengthens public trust that he will resist pressure, refuse nepotism, protect public funds. 10. It confirms that Obi's leadership is generational. Finally, this story tells us something deeper. Peter Obi is not just thinking about winning elections, holding office, gaining power. He is thinking about the next generation, sustainable values, long-term national character. A man who raises his child for the future will govern Nigeria for the future. Conclusion. That simple statement about his son is not just a family story, it is a leadership testimony. It tells us that Peter Obi practices what he preaches, raises responsible citizens, rejects entitlement, believes in merit, understands the weight of leadership. When Peter Obi eventually wins in 2027, Nigerians can be confident of this. His children will not be a nuisance. His family will not hijack the state. His presidency will be focused on building Nigeria, not protecting personal interests. And in a country that has suffered too long from leadership without values, that alone is a powerful reason to believe.
GGN, uniting the people for good governance.